Okay, we are going to take we're just going to do notes on the product rule first. Then I'll do another video just on the quotient rule. That way the videos are short and won't take so long. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about what the rule is for the product rule. And again, this is just another derivative rule that we use, and what you want to do is make sure that you understand that you have two functions that are being multiplied together, and that's where the product comes up. So for the first one, we'll call this one, here's your f of x and here's your g of x, two different ones. And so when you take and use the rule, you have to follow these steps. So it's going to be y prime equals, again, always write this little notation, y prime equals the first function and times the derivative of the second function plus the second function times the derivative of the first function. If you mix these up, as in you do this one first over here and do this one, here and this one here, that's okay. Understand, though, that you have to take the derivative of one function and multiply it to the other. And the other term has to be derivative of the other function multiplied by the other term. It doesn't have to be exactly, it doesn't have to be exact order. We have community property of multiplication and addition happening here, so it makes it easier. Just understand what it needs to be looking like. So now what I do after that, I'm just going to apply it to each of my functions. So I'm just going to give these each a different name. I'm going to call this one f of x. This one's going to be g of x. I'm going to use different colors to help us to see as I go along. So h prime of x. All right, so we keep the first. So the first stays the same. And then we're going to do the derivative of the second. So the derivative of 5 plus 4x, derivative of 5 is a 0 because it's a constant, and derivative of 4x is just 4 times 4. So you multiply them together. Plus, we're going to take the derivative, we're going to keep the, again, it doesn't matter which order you put this in, but we're going to leave the second one the same, times the derivative of the first. Now the derivative of this, well, the derivative of 3x is just 3 minus derivative of 2x squared. Remember, 2 times 2 is 4. And then we're going to subtract 1 for the exponent. So we wind up with 4x to the first power. Okay. All right. So now just clean it up. Multiply through, add like terms. I always got to combine those like terms. So we get 12x minus 8x squared plus, and then we have to, this is a binomial here, two binomials, so we'll have to FOIL. So I'm just going to multiply it without having to worry what it is exactly. So this is, and combine like terms as I go. Because that's a negative 20x. 5 times 4 is negative 20. Don't ask where I went over there. Plus a 15. Let me erase that because I don't know if I don't want to confuse you. So start again. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times a negative 4x is a negative 20x. 4x plus times 12 is a positive 12x, and then 4x times a negative 4x is a negative 16x. I hope that pops up. Oops, down here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is combine like terms when I get done. So I'm going to put them in order in descending. Oops, this should be a square. So here, negative and a negative, so this is a negative 24x squared. Get rid of that. And then I have x is 12 minus 20 is a negative 8. A negative 8 plus 12 is a positive 4. All right. Oops, I feel like I'm turning this off. Positive 4x. And then 12 times, then that's gone, and that's gone. And then positive 15. I'm done. I might have done this wrote it accidentally wrong in my notes in class, so if you refer back to that, apologize for that. So let's go on to the next example. Next example, we have some trig functions. Again, it doesn't matter which two you have, as long as you are labeling first function, second function. So this to me is going to be f of x, and I'm going to try this yellow, g of x. Ooh, I hope y'all can see that okay. So the derivative is y prime equals, so now I'm going to take the first, which is 3x squared, times the derivative of the second. Well, what's the derivative of sine x? Cosine x. Plus, we keep that one the same, so it's sine x times the derivative of the second, of the first, excuse me. So the derivative of this is 6x. And then all you need to do is just clean it up, as in, get rid of the parentheses. And then I can move, usually we put that in front of the trig function so that it has a nice flow. All right, let's go on to example 3. Okay, example 3. We are going to do this function. So we're going to do, this is my first function. I'm going to rewrite this function as x to the negative 1/2, positive 1/2, okay? And then the other function will be, the x plus 2. So that's g of x. So take the derivative. So it's f prime of x. Again, make sure you have your notation up here, this little part up here. And make sure you show that. All right, so we're going to take the derivative of this. So we're going to keep the first. So we have x to the 1/2 times the derivative of the second. Well, the derivative of this, x plus 2, is just 1. Okay, plus, we're going to keep the second one, x plus 2, and we're going to take the derivative of x to the 1/2. So the derivative of x to the 1/2, we move this in front, and then we subtract 1. So we have x, excuse me, I left the, you have, where are my things kind of freaking out, 1/2 x, and then 1/2 minus 1 is a negative 1/2. Okay, now we're going to multiply through. Don't move your exponents, don't move the ones to the 1/2 down, just leave them, if they're negative, just leave them right now, and we'll see what it looks like. So we have f prime of x, and we're going to distribute when we can. This is x to the 1/2, because that's just 1 times that. Now I'm going to distribute. This is this times the x. So if I do x times 1/2, x to 1/2. So I know that I have a 1/2 in the front, and then I got to figure out what to do. So I have x times x to the negative 1/2. The bases are the same. I'm multiplying them, so I add the exponents. Okay, so this is really a 1 here. So what's 1 plus and 1 minus 1/2 is just x to the positive 1/2. So we have x to the 1/2. Okay, times, and now we're going to distribute to this. Well, 1/2 times 2 is just 1, so I'm just left with x to the negative 1/2. Okay, so what we want to do now is actually putting like terms together. Well, this is like terms, don't forget, this has the same base as an x, and then these are the same coefficients, exponents. Don't worry about the coefficients, but if those are the same, then I can add the coefficients. So I have a 1 here, so 1 plus 1/2 is actually 3/2 x, and 1/2 stays the same, that doesn't change, plus x to the negative 1/2. Okay, And so now you want to change them and make them any negative exponents must be moved. So 3/2 x to the 1/2 plus 1 over x to the 1/2. Okay. All right, so the next thing is asking, now find the derivative of the same function without using the product rule. And this is where you are used to what we did at the very beginning of 8.1 of this whole thing, is that we would distribute anything because we didn't have this product rule or power rule. And sometimes you like it better and then sometimes you won't. It'll be your choice. But if you're told to use the product rule, you must use that and so forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to write the function down here, and I'm going to go ahead and leave it x to the 1/2. So I have f of x equals, so if I distribute x, I'm going to leave it like this so before I distribute. So I'm distributing this, so that's going to be x. Again, 1/2 plus 1 is 3/2. All right, so 2 over 2 times, or plus 2 times x to the 1/2. Now when you take the derivative of that function right here, okay, so the derivative of that will be, so I take 3/2 right here, bring it in the front, so 3/2 x, and then 3/2 minus 1, okay, so that's 1/2 minus 1 is just 1/2, plus, well, now I'm going to take the derivative of this one. So 1/2 times 2 is 1. I have an x, and then 1/2 minus 1 is a negative 1/2. And then now I move this down because it's got a negative exponent. And if you see, we have the same thing. Now, it just depends. Like on this problem, I probably wouldn't use the product rule. I would multiply it through. But if you don't feel comfortable with the, the negative exponent or, the fractional, you will have a calculator on the test, so you'll be able to use that. Okay, so the last question here, is the product rule necessary to find the derivative of this? Well, the answer is no, because if you have y equals 3x cubed, I know what to do with this one. I'm using that power rule where 3 times 3 is 9. So the derivative is, 3 times 3 is 9. Excuse me. Let me erase that. And you get 3 times 3 is 9. And then you subtract, and you get 9 squared. Now, let's see if I can move this up. Now, I want to look at it, like say if you did do it, and it's not wrong that you do this, but you don't really necessarily, because you could say that this is f of x, and you could say that this is g of x, okay? Well, it's going to say the same rule that we do, so we keep the first, which is 3, times the derivative of the second. Well, what's the derivative of x cubed? It is 3x squared, plus the derivative of, then we keep this function the same, x cubed, times the derivative of the first. Well, the derivative of the first is a constant, so it's 0. So this becomes 9 times 3 is 9x squared, and this is just 0. And so we do get the same thing, but it's not necessary to have that like that, okay? All right.